end in sight for Eskom's troubles, it seems. In Mpumalanga, cleaning staff have been sleeping outside one of the power stations for almost a week now. The power utility allegedly ending a contract. A new company was meant to absorb the workforce, but this hasn't happened. We're on that story this afternoon with reporter Nqobile Madlala, who has been speaking to those affected. Nqobile, good afternoon to you. What have they been telling you?
Well, Jeremy, from what we understand, just under 200 people have been affected by this. We understand that some of the work staff that we've just mentioned that were cleaning staff were about 181 of them that were affected, and it seems they have not all been absorbed. From our understanding, they've taken some of them who are shift workers, which are about 44 of them, and while leaving others outside, saying that they may not be right in terms of age, they may not be rightful also because of certain instances that they have told them. And also at the same time, Jeremy, they've been asking with regards to the contract in terms of whether or not they will be getting the contracts, but they remain in limbo. As a result, they've been sleeping on the lawn just on my left-hand side from where I'm standing. Now, though, Jeremy, it seems it's not the only company that has been affected here. From what we understand also, there's some workers who are joining me now that have not been paid for the last 2 weeks. Tell us why.
We were told that the company that was taken over from the previous company didn't have a proper documentation for receiving money from Eskom. So to us it's unclear as to why is that happening, because Eskom has got AMA policies, there are procedures that need to be followed before they take a company inside. But this time around it's not happening, as we have indicated earlier on that we've been working for a number of companies, about 5 companies changing on us, and then what they do, these companies, they just come with an employer without proper PPE or working equipment. All they do, they just take money and leave employees without paying them. Sometimes people are forced to go to on site not having a proper PPE. And from Eskom side, there is no one who's monitoring whether these contractors are doing the proper thing to our employees. All they want, they are looking for reproduction.
Just explain a little bit, because you were talking about the health issue as being a really serious thing. Yes. Tell us how exactly this PPE situation happens, because you mentioned to us later that people were even sharing PPE?
Yes, that's correct. We've been informed that some of the managers inside here are forcing people. In fact, they are substituting people to get on site with PPE. After I knock off, then I have to give another employee the very same PPE, like sharing hand gloves and helmets. And imagine now we're in this pandemic, hygiene is very much important. So we can't share those things. A company must provide the proper PPE to every employee. And even Eskom rules are stating the same. Each and every company must have its own PPE. But these companies, they come without PPE, without working equipment, just coming to take money and leave.
And you mentioned something about not even knowing your employer. Do you know?
Usually, when a new contractor comes in, they come to introduce themselves, and then we negotiate our working conditions. But with the current one that we are working for, he never even bothered himself coming to meet the workforce, introduce himself as an employer. Even now, when he leaves, we don't know where to go. Where his offices, physical addresses, if we want to inquire when we are not paid, we don't know where to go.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, as you can hear there, Jeremy, as a little earlier we heard from some of the people that were here, they're saying that it's very difficult at this point for them to work in this kind of environment. As he has mentioned, almost 2 weeks they haven't been paid. It's also been a week of people sleeping on the lawn. There's even people that have been asking for the Hawks to intervene at this point. But we have reached out to Eskom, and we do understand that they will be speaking to us a little later on. But they have dismissed all of this that has been mentioned as just mere people who are here looking for work. And they were saying that this is not Eskom employees. If anything, they subcontracted. So we must make sure that we state that it's subcontracted, which also clearly just states to us that when we do speak, then we will hear from them exactly how they have chosen these subcontractors that they don't want to be affiliated with.
All right, well, Eskom talks a little later. We will return to you. And Nqobile Madlala, thank you.